for the members of the public. The board will move to citizens communication. This is the time we dedicate at each regularly scheduled board meeting for public comments. Christy Donmeyer.
Hello. I have 3 sons who will be in AISD schools for the next 18 years. 10 of those will be at our elementary school. So September 5th, when I was told by my principal to move from the empty lobby to a private room because I was discreetly breastfeeding my baby, I handled things with diplomacy. I sent a letter citing the state law. A mother is entitled to breastfeed her baby in any location in which the mother is authorized to be. I expressed concern that asking a mother to nurse privately stigmatizes public feeding and risks damaging that mother's breastfeeding relationship. I learned that my principal was following district practice and asked the district to adopt a new written policy upholding the state law. The new policy is essentially unchanged. AISD lawyers have interpreted the law to prohibit mothers from feeding their babies anywhere but a private room. AISD claims to support breastfeeding, but with this policy, that support ends where our rights begin. Nursing mothers who know the vulnerability of public breastfeeding know the intent of the law. In the past 5 days, over 900 people have signed a petition urging AISD to follow the law and support and respect breastfeeding mothers. We're asking for a policy that reads more like this. It is the policy of the Austin Independent School District to comply with Texas law, which protects a woman's right to breastfeed wherever she is authorized to be. A visitor will not be denied a right to be in any part of a campus that would otherwise be available to her. If she requests, a nursing mother shall be provided access to the private room designated by the campus principal to be used by nursing employees. Any offer to use this room should be made only with genuine assurances that the mother is welcome to feed her baby wherever she chooses. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Adam Donmeyer, Vincent Tovar, and Cynthia Valadez.
If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Hello, I'm Adam Donmeyer, and my wife isn't happy. Texas law says a mother is entitled to breastfeed her baby in any location in which the mother is authorized to be. But AISD doesn't let them nurse wherever they're authorized to be, stating instead, the district shall provide a parent a place other than a bathroom that is shielded from view and free from intrusion by students, employees, and the public, which shall be used to breastfeed or express milk. It's not just us. Many other parents saw this contradiction. You can read about their unhappiness on our Keep Austin Nursing in Public Facebook page, or just check your email. The chief of staff tried to reassure people when he wrote, this position is aligned with Texas law. I asked the woman who absolutely knows the law's intent, and she wrote me, as the legislator who authored and passed the original state law on breastfeeding, I can assure you that our primary goals were to encourage breastfeeding for the health of baby, the mother, and the society that must pay the costs for illness among our populace. Most importantly, we want to educate young women as to the benefits of natural child feeding and to normalize this most normal and loving act in our society's opinion. I can think of no place more important than in a school to pursue that educational function and that nurturing, loving act. My hope is that all those children go home to their new baby brothers and sisters, enjoying all the proven benefits, and themselves grow up to be responsible parents of healthy, well-nourished children of their own. I am surprised that any pro-family elected official would attempt to stigmatize this most normal act. You swore to uphold Texas law. Please make mama happy. Thank you.
Thank you. Mary Ann Baker, Montserrat Garibay, and Monica Guzman.
I'm Mary Ann Baker. I'm here as a mother myself and representing the Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies Coalition. Texas Health and Safety Code Section 165.02 is entitled Right to Breastfeed. A mother's entitled to breastfeed her baby in any location in which the mother is authorized to be. Yet AISD policy requires that a mother caught breastfeeding shall be sent to a location that's shielded from view. I submit that this policy violates Texas law. Now, I'm a lawyer, but it doesn't take a lawyer to understand this law. Right to breastfeed. A mother's entitled to breastfeed her baby in any location in which the mother's authorized to be. If a mother's allowed to shop at the mall or the grocery store, she's entitled to nurse her baby there. If she's allowed to visit the park, a library, a school playground, she has the right to nurse her baby there. We have moms breastfeeding at legislative hearings. You know, it's great and required by federal law that AISD provides a place for employees, including teachers, to pump milk or nurse their babies. And it's nice that you allow visiting moms to nurse there too if they wish. But providing a room for working moms to pump milk is a different thing from requiring that visiting mothers nurse their babies there. The Texas Right to Breastfeed statute does not limit the places to which it applies. It grants the mother the right to feed her baby in any location she's authorized to be. Wherever on campus a school allows parents to be, mothers are authorized to be. And if a mother is authorized to be there, then she has the right to breastfeed there. It's unfortunately true that seeing a mother feed her baby makes some people uncomfortable. It's also true that seeing interracial couples or seriously disabled people makes some people uncomfortable. But that is not sufficient reason to segregate them or deprive them of their legal rights. Just as with separate but equal schools, segregation generates feelings of shame that may affect mothers in profound ways, leading them to deprive their babies of the most crucial source of health and nutrition available. I respectfully ask you to reconsider this policy and rewrite it to allow a mother to breastfeed her baby wherever she's allowed to be on any AISD property. Thank you.
Thank you. Lauren Reyes, Kristen Keller, Megan Buchanan.
Hello, greeting members of the board and attendees. My name is Lauren Reyes. I'm a mother of 3 AISD students and a board-certified lactation consultant. I have breastfed my children at PTO meetings, on playgrounds, and at parent-teacher conferences. My work calls me to serve breastfeeding mothers and their sweet babies in their journey to learn to breastfeed successfully. One of the major barriers that American mothers face is the fear of becoming discriminated against in public. In fact, it is one of the main reasons that the majority of American women do not meet their breastfeeding goals. In my work, it is my job to inform families of the right to breastfeed law, which grants breastfeeding mothers the right to breastfeed in any location in which they are authorized to be, and to reassure them that we as a community are here to celebrate and protect their efforts to do what is best for their babies. Sadly, I recently had to look into the face of a breastfeeding mother named Christy Donmeyer while she cried as she recounted her experience of being segregated and shamed in an AISD facility simply for breastfeeding. I must admit that I'm simultaneously ashamed and enraged at AISD for so grossly misinterpreting the law in the deluded concept that the law is meant to protect those few that have wrongly sexualized breasts. The fact is that the law is meant to protect the most vulnerable and important members of society, mothers and babies. Please remember when reviewing this issue that it was not that long ago that being Black or Latino was socially unacceptable. I hope we don't all look back on this with the same shame and regret that we do when we remember how school systems failed to do the right thing then. The breastfeeding law is clear in its intent. All mothers have the right to breastfeed where they are authorized to be, and to conclude otherwise eviscerates the clear intent, spirit, and letter of the law. Thank you.
Thank you. Christine Keller, Megan Buchanan, Alexia Haywood.
Hi. I don't think I need to say anything about why I'm here. I think it's pretty obvious, but I don't feel like I need to repeat the law. But what I did want to say is that if you think about what you do to a mom when you ask her to go to privacy, because if she's there to pick up a child, if she's there to chaperone, if she's there to supervise, you just lost that person's ability to do any of those things because they're not visible. The other thing is, if you think about, I don't know about you guys, but I'm an animal lover. If you think about animals like dogs or cats or kittens, it's actually animal abuse or animal cruelty if you take them away from their moms before 6 weeks, because there's that rule of 6 weeks. That's actually 80% of their first year of life. So by asking a mom to breastfeed in privacy, you do risk the relationship between mom and baby. You also have to think about that breastfed babies don't just come with baby bottles, and it's not that easy just to whip out a bottle and feed a breastfed baby. So instead of asking mothers to go and hide and breastfeed, I think it could be turned around and you could support breastfeeding mothers and use it as an opportunity for nutrition education, because it's a way to show our future generations that it's not just best, it's normal. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Megan Buchanan and Alexia Haywood.
And I want to echo what she was saying. I think that would be fabulous for teen parents on my campus, at least, to have that as a model and to know that breastfeeding is normal and natural. But what I'm here for is I went to an Eastside Youth Movement youth-led school board candidate forum at Reagan last month.
Alexia Haywood.
Good evening. My name is Alexia Haywood, and I'm also here to speak to AISD's breastfeeding policy. Mr. W. at Central Office assures me that AISD does support breastfeeding, and you know, I do believe him. I can see that AISD's current breastfeeding policy respects people's feelings on both sides of the issue. I'm sure that finding solutions that respect all parties serves AISD well in the majority of cases. The difference in this situation is, of course, that there's a state law addressing breastfeeding in public already in place. So in my eyes, the only sticking point, if you will, is the law itself and the phrase authorized to be. In an email to me, Mr. W. stated, and I quote, "I respectfully disagree with you that the district's policy is in violation of state law. The phrase authorized to be does not allow a mom to breastfeed anywhere on campus, but rather where authorized to be by the district on campus," end quote. I respectfully still contend that the policy is in fact in violation of state law. The law makes it clear that breastfeeding in public is not unlawful or inappropriate and is in place to protect mothers and babies and not anyone who may be uncomfortable or offended. And I'm going to call it like I see it here and say that asking a mother to move to nurse in private is blatant discrimination. You wouldn't ask a mother to give a baby a bottle in private. And we came across a very similar case in Florida, and I'd like to borrow some words from a lawyer on behalf of the nursing mother. And quote, "Because Ms. Taylor's conduct is totally lawful and indeed encouraged by law, two things are undeniable. First, that Ms. Taylor has a right to be where any other law-abiding parent is authorized to be on school property. And second, if parents are authorized to be at a certain location within school property, then Ms. Taylor has an unqualified right to breastfeed at that location, and her access to that location on school property cannot be restricted because she engages in such lawful and protected activity on school property. In conclusion, I urge AISD to rethink its policy. There are literally hundreds and hundreds of us who've begun communicating with each other about this issue in the last week, and momentum is growing fast. And I want to thank you very much for your time. I've enjoyed listening to your stories here tonight, and I thank you for listening to ours."
Thank you. Dr. Christopherson, there have been a few comments and concerns expressed during citizens' communication. If you would look into those and get back to the board at a later point in time. Thank you.